Oh boy, Cursed Orphan is the greatest audio. Oh boy,
No.
Cursed Orphan is the greatest audio. You can hear me. You can hear me. My bad. Cursed Orphan is the greatest audio drama performance ever put on by Pocket FM. Coincidentally, I helped co-write it. So it's an audio drama I helped co-write. Am I still being echoey? Damn it. Okay, so this is why I wasn't on yet. I was still posting a bunch of stuff. But hey, welcome to the stream. I did curse the orphan all myself. Uh, no, I was brought on to I co-wrote it for a company. It was my first major writing job, and it was a very cool thing to have. I think. So I get to advertise it. Okay. Still posting. I can see all of you. Hello, everybody. I'm still posting to all the places that I post to, alerting my adoring public that I'm on. Okay, we are here. Oh, I've got a few projects in the work. I got a book that has been slowly uh, finished. Okay, I think I posted everywhere I usually post. I've got a book. I've got a book I'm working on that I'm very far along in. To the point I feel fairly confident I will get it out within the year, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm fairly confident within the year, definitely. Maybe even sooner than that, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna be there it is. I'm gonna be couch it a little bit and say within the year. Um, there we go. Yeah, rock and roll. I woke up and I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's do some early morning streaming, and then we might. Yes, it's rock and roll time. So what do you work? So what is everybody working on these days? I have been doing research on the mafia too. I read a book about. I read sort of. I read the book Wise Guy, and Wise Guy was eventually adapted into the very famous movie Goodfellas. For some reason, I just really wanted to read that book. So, and then I read I read Casino as well. Are you writing a mafia story? Are you part of the mafia? Are you a Fed? Never. Oh, tell me about this interactive novel. You're not a Fed, are you? Never. I want to make one of those. What are you using? Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting subject. Yeah. They are. They are. I've made them too. I'm using. I have Twine. I'm using Twine, but there's other ways to do it. I know. They're in fact quite simple to make. You can make them more complicated, but the very basic like choose your own adventure sort of ones are quite easy to make. It's just kind of trying to remember all the choices people have made. Okay. Ah. Well, Twine was free, which I like free. But Inky may be free too. I actually haven't heard of Inky until just now. Until you just told me. Oh, ooh. Oh, you are selling me on that. That is good because you have to set up. You have to do some coding for Twine to remember that sort of stuff. You are selling me. You are selling me on this, my friend. Yeah, I will check it out. I will check it out once the stream ends. That you have sold me on at least checking it out. Yeah. Well, I'm not much of a coder, so anything that reduces my need to code is nice. And I'm aware that coding you can learn. You can learn, but it's just there's only so many things I can learn in a day. So tell me about this interactive novel. What is it about? Have you ever read Wise Guys? Never. It's a good. It's a good book. It's actually a really good book. I was surprised how much I liked it. When I say read, I of course mean listen to on audiobook. And uh, I found it so funny because the audiobook. Yeah. Well, yeah. I saw the movie too. I was just curious what the book um, was like. What I found it very funny was the narrator they got sounds so much like Ray Liotta. They clearly went out and looked. They clearly went out and tried to find a guy who sounded a lot like Ray Liotta. Yeah, it is. It is. It's based on a book. It's called Wise Guy. They would have called the movie that, but uh, there was earlier TV show called Wise Guys. Yeah, yeah, because there was a TV show called Wise Guys, so they had to change it to Goodfellas. But because of how popular the movie is now, gangsters call themselves Goodfellas, so it all works out. Yeah, so the writer of the book co-wrote the screenplay with Scorsese. So I've also read Casino. Yeah, I haven't seen Casino yet. That is one of the few Scorsese movies I haven't seen yet. I've seen I've seen a lot of Scorsese films in my time. but that's one of the few I haven't. Yeah. So, Serendipity. Tell me a little bit about this project you're working on. I'm curious. What's the premise exactly? Yeah. Ah, James Woods. Yeah. Well, I read the book based that it's based on Casino, so I'm gonna watch it at some point because that was the next one on the list, and um, it's a lot shorter the Casino book than the Goodfellow than Wise Guy is. Yeah. Oh, because in the he's playing an absolute scumbag, James Woods. I know the character he's playing. He's an absolute. He was an absolute scumbag in real life, and he's an absolute scumbag in. I assume he's an absolute scumbag in the book, in the movie as well. So I assume that scene is quite funny. That. So what are you? It's a. So tell me a little bit about this project. Tell me a little bit about this project. Serendipity. Yeah. Aspire to write the big gangster epic. I was trying to think of like the last really good gangster movie that came out. Um, Possibly The Irishman. I know some people didn't like it, but some people are wrong. But yeah, I like the way you word that. It's Irishman is great. People just can't sit. I saw it in a theater. Never. I saw it in a theater, and I was glued. I was glued. I was glued to it the entire time. It's okay if movies are longer. What I don't get about people. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't get about the criticism of like it's such a long movie. I'm like, okay, here's the thing though. Most of you, I watched it in a theater. I was fine with it. Here's the thing though with long movies. Let me explain something to you. Especially in Netflix, there's a thing called a pause button. Here's what you do. You find the movie long, you pause it. You pause it. You do other things. You come back later and you watch the rest. It's technology we've had since the late 70s, I assume. I'm not the early 80s, late 70s. We've had this thing called pause buttons. Somehow that's hard to understand. Somehow, yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah, yeah, they could drag a little bit, but there's one guy who I normally like, but he has he has such. So there's this podcaster I quite like, and he recently had a kid, which is good for him. I'm happy for him. But this always drives me up a wall. Whenever people have kids and they start talking about movies, they'll start complaining it's too long. And it's like, are you sure it's not that the movie is too long, or that your life has changed in a significant way, and you don't have and you don't have the time to dedicate to longer things anymore, and you just can't quite accept that. Is it sure? Are you sure it's not the fact that you had a child? It's good to see you, Serendipity. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the follow. How am I losing? Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. It's like that's oh, classic. It's always so funny with follows. It's like I can't. I'm so close. I'm getting closer and closer every day to 1,000 followers, but I can't get over that hump. Ugh. I just can't get over it. I just can't get over it. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Thank you so much for the follow. I'm stuck at 969. Yes, you should. That is the one I haven't seen yet. I need to see that. The with Sierra Leone. Yeah. It's a that one's a frustrating one. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Hope everything's going fantastic. Yeah. No, it's Sergio. The Clint Eastwood. He directed the Clint Eastwood westerns. Sergio Leone. Well, it's contentious in that the director's cut. What happened is there was a big problem with the studio, and the studio recut it. The studio screwed up the cut and took it away from the director. So lately, there's been attempts to restore what the cut should have been, and that's where the contention that's where the contention comes in, because people aren't sure. That's where the contention comes in, because people aren't 100% sure. So there's a few competing versions trying to hew more closely to what Sergio Leone wanted. So, but a lot of people seem to think that the original cut that they did a few years back is pretty good. So, but all of them are preferred over the theatrical cut, which was butchered. And I'm sorry to hear. Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the things that's very frustrating to deal with in film when they screw up the cut. Which is crazy, because Leone should have had final edit. It's ridiculous that he didn't get that. It's like the reason people were excited for that movie was because he was finally directing. He was finally coming to America to direct a movie. He had made these massive hit westerns, and he was finally coming to America to direct a full on movie under the American system. There was no reason like it should have been like he should have just had cut. I believe Coppola was producing it, so it's ridiculous. Nowadays that would probably happen, but nowadays he probably wouldn't have got the budget. A bird. You people. I don't have my writing. Okay, fine. We'll do it on here. Yeah, which sucks, but it at least means that a lot of the more arty ones get a lot more control. It's complicated, but it does mean So I was doing a little game in my head of like, I have theories on this because I was doing a little game in my head about what determines a good movie. Because I was like, I was looking at, I watched a review of the Double Dragon movie, which was a terrible movie and a terrible adaptation of that game. But the writing team on that is super, super strong to the point it's like, well, why didn't this work? Why didn't this work with how strong the writers were? And it's like, and then you really think about it, it's like, oh, okay, so it's, you can have great writers, but if you don't have a great, like, particularly good director or at the helm, it's just not going to work. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. That's part of the thing. It's like, because, like, okay, the Double Dragon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, so, but, like, here's the thing. The Double Dragon team, the writers um, were Paul Dini, one of the main writers of the Batman animated series, uh, the co-creator, the co-creator of Better Call Saul, and one of the main writers on Breaking Bad, and the creator of That 70s Show. Yeah. It's a terrible movie from the 90s, but it has an interesting history, and it made me think of stuff. So, having a good writer doesn't necessarily equate to having a good movie, is what I'm saying. Like, just having good, yeah, having good writers on the staff doesn't necessarily mean your movie is going to be good. So there must be something extra to that, if that makes sense. Okay, we're going to write, we're going to do 45 words of Serendipity's premise. In memoriam, birds are meanies, but one bird, a 70-foot tall crow, thought differently. One, that it was 70 feet tall, and it knew that, and two, that this streamer Sean was a pretty good guy, and liked him a lot. It had first seen Sean after eating an entire house, uh, containing somebody who was watching Sean. And then it swore to itself that it would eat every house that was watching Sean the streamer. There we go. That should be 45 words. Yes. Skip. You should skip now. Go to work. There we go. That's your premise. Oh, I'm gonna be doing a bunch of writing later today, so. Oh, would you believe I've already written? Why, yes, I did wake up early and get some writing done. Oh, I'm so smart. I'm so cool. I'm the best. But yeah. Hey, listen, if we didn't procrastinate from writing, what would writing be? In many ways, isn't all of life, isn't anything you do in life procrastinating from writing? Like, think about it. You could be writing all the time. So tell me the premise of your story, Saren. What's the premise of your story? Yeah. I need to start doing that more. The weather's getting warmer, so I can start exercising more. I I kind of let myself go around Christmas time, and I gotta get back. Everything is procrastinating. The only thing a writer's life that gives a writer's life purpose is the act of writing itself. I don't really believe that. This is just a joke. This is just a joke, and kind of, exploring my own insecurities about my life in a sense. Oh, most things are from Highlander. If not directly, then indirectly. Sometimes I'm always nervous. Sometimes I always feel like I have to clarify things occasionally. I believe in Joe Hendry. Yes. Okay. That sounds awesome. I like that idea. You know, serendipity. Serendipity. Here's what I'll say. If you get that completed someday, I'll play it here on the stream. How about that? How about that? Also very fun. Very cool. Serendipity. Do me a favor. Do me a favor if you could. Could you link that the Zippy thing that you were talking about? I want to take a look at. I want to take a look at it after stream. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, inky. Yeah, the ink. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm going to take a look at that. I'm gonna play with that. Oh, hey. And while you're at it, can you do me a favor? You see that link to my newsletter? I'm not sure if it works. Can you click it? Just check to make sure it works. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, okay. Now I'm not totally sure if the email part works. Can you just fill in your email to see if it works? Kraken! It's Kraken. Good to see you. Ahoy, hoy! Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's fun to stay up late. Good morning to you. Hope you had a cracking good dream. Yes. Good morning. Did you, like me, have a dream an episode, dream an entire episode of Seinfeld that you've never heard of before? Because that's what I did. It was about Jerry having magical powers. Does that look good? No, it does not, Sean. Oh, lovely! It works. Thank you. I'm worried people aren't picking up. Thank you for checking to see if my newsletter link works. So, Kraken, what's the plan for today? Yeah, yeah. I retired the Substacks. Um, for a bunch of reasons. For a bunch of complicated reasons. But didn't particularly like the management, and because I didn't particularly like the management, I came to realize like the more I work at the Substack, all I'm really doing is bringing people to their platform, because like I wasn't getting any like traction from Substack, like as a from anybody else besides like my own, like the people that like my own people. Like I wasn't getting any traction from Substack as like a platform in and of itself. So, and I realized it's, you kind of have to like, what that means is fundamentally like it wasn't bringing me an audience, I was bringing them an audience. And because I don't like the management, I don't want to work to help them increase their market share when I could just do it all independently on my own. So I'm now independent. Yeah. No, this is independent. This is going to be totally independent. Very this it's my website. This is, it shouldn't be. Oh, right. I forgot to change it down there. I meant for you to click the thing up here. That's the one. I forgot. I meant for you to click the thing up there. You're right. I meant for this one. This is the one I meant. I've totally forgotten about these leaks down here. Ugh. Thank you for reminding me. I gotta change that stuff. Yeah. Yes, you should do spring cleaning. I think, controversially, it's good to live in a clean area and to have your home clean. That's what I think. I just want to get the eyes right. I'll come back to this later. Let's start a new picture. So Kraken, Crack Attack. How's the pirate story going? Good. The Crack Attack, the Krakenator. The pride of Mother Kraken's eyes. How's your pirate story? Yes, it does. The procrastination unfortunately for the procrastination demon, he's a bit of a workaholic. Yeah. It is ironic. He works nonstop, barely gets to see his family. You know, Kraken. You know what we need to do. You know what you need to do, Kraken. You know what you need to do? Here's my. It's always good. It's always good to see you, buddy. You know what you need to do, Kraken? Let me throw this out to you. You need a deadline. Like an actual concrete deadline that cannot be broken. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You need a deadline. Sometimes motivation, sometimes Kraken, sometimes motivation is not giving yourself the option to mess around. Here's what we're going to do. Kraken, are you following The Terrible Novelist? I'm going to recommend you The Terrible Novelist. The Terrible Novelist. You know what he does? Kraken? He does beta readings on his channel every day. He has a schedule. Hello. Here's my suggestion. Kraken, you sign up for his schedule. Or we could do one here. Kraken, how about that? We could do one here. How about next Sunday? Next Sunday, I take a look at your story. See how nice I am? I'm plugging other people's streams. Didn't occur to me till halfway through Terrible Novelist. Hello, hello, Kelly. Good to see you again. Hope old London town is treating you well. Uh, Callie is little known fact. Right now, Callie is in London hunting down vampires and werewolves. Unfortunately, although Callie has claimed several times he has managed to hunt down many werewolves, most of them have been werewolves. We've only ever seen them in dog form, unfortunately. Not human form, but Callie has sworn to us that they're actual werewolves. But I didn't know werewolves would transform into chihuahuas. But Callie swears that Callie's the best werewolf hunter in all of London. Need to get rid of that WhatsApp thing. So what are our plans today? What are our plans today? Callie, Kraken, Sean. Who's this superstar, Sean R. Arnold? I've never heard that name before in my life. And I know literally everyone. Every single person is known to me. Okay, Callie. I know this is part of your werewolf and vampire hunting. And I'm going to be honest, Callie, I have suspicions about these vampires you're bringing in. Most of them don't look like vampires. Callie, are you sure that they're not just wearing like skin cream with glitter in it, Callie? Callie, I'm worried, Callie, what you've done is attacked an Abercrombie and Fitch store and claimed it was vampires, Callie. Why was Shark banned? Why was Shark... Twitch. Callie? Was that an actual shark? Yes, that fits. Vampires, sharks are essentially the vampires of the sea. Huh. That's a good idea. That's a that's a really good idea. That'd be like a really good idea for a shirt. That'd be a really good idea for a shirt right there. You have a zombie standing in front of an Abercrombie and Fitch store, but he's like shirtless. Aberzombie and Fitch. Genius, Kraken. Genius. Now, just to delete this clip, delete this part of the stream so it looks like it was my idea. Most things are vampires when you really think about them. Who's your favorite vampire? Oh, by the way, vampires are real and they exist. But anyways, I've met 3 of them before. They were all very scary. They wore black metal chains, and they call themselves cybergoths. Terrifying individuals. I once had an idea for a vampire story where uh, it's too complicated to explain. But basically, they acted. They didn't act like traditional vampires. They acted more like missionaries who go like door to door. You know, like Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons or something, where it's like, and it's like, oh, hello there, how's it going? Can we convince you to become a vampire? It's pretty darn good. If I could just leave this literature here about the positives of becoming a vampire. Based on the fact that I'm now terrified. Because that's the most terrifying thing I can think. Kraken. Calais. Kraken. Calais. How do I know you two aren't the same person? Crackling. Or Calais. Calkin. Calkin. Or Calkin. How do I know you're not secretly a Calkin? Prove to me that you aren't the same person. That has nothing. You have done nothing to prove anything. Darn it! You're right. There's literally no way to figure this out. Here's a question. How do I know that you're secretly not me? Or are you all secretly robots? That could be the other answer. I've met many robots. I estimate a good 75% of the Earth is secretly robots. Possibly more. That's what that's that is a very human thing. Or would that be a thing a robot would say to try and prove themselves to be human? Kraken, quickly, prove your fundamental humanity, or I will suspect you forever of being a robot. Say something only a human could say. Like, I'm getting hungry. I am getting kind of hungry. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Only humans say that. All my best human friends, that's all they talk about is buying cheap views at websites. Good, good. You're a human. I believe you. Callie has yet to prove himself totally. Arby's? No one would say Arby's has the best. Evil monster. Wait a minute. Kraken, it's not just an internet handle. It's a thing. You're an actual Kraken from the sea. He's a Kraken from the sea. Yeah. What is... Yeah, that is good. Curly season. Okay. Arby's is okay now. I didn't know they had curly seasoned fries. That does sound good. Better than the taco fries at Taco Bell? I don't know. I gotta stop eating as much fast food as I've been eating. I'm not really eating fast food, but I am going out a lot more than I usually do. To be fair, it's the only thing I really can't, you know. I've been having pizza, but I've been good. I've had it's cauliflower crust, it's vegan cheese. But it's like I'm Oh, an ad. Well, now that an ad is going on, I can talk honestly about my feelings and say stuff I would never say about the people in the chat right now. I think they're great and I appreciate their company, but I would never say that to them personally. You did? Oh, that's ridiculous. You got a Taco Bell ad? That's so funny. Yes, they have Taco Bell fries. They're very good. They have nacho fries at Taco Bell. They're very good. Operation Soda Steel. Are you tempting another? Are you tempting Operation Soda Steel, Kraken? Do you know what Operation Soda Steel is? I want to become a better cook. I'm really frustrated how limited my cooking is. I've been frustrated quite lately about how limited my cooking is, and I want to become a better cook. Do you guys know what Operation Soda Steel was? It was this old online thing where this guy he created a fake cup that led to so he had a gallon thing. He had a backpack and he had a fake cup. He had a cup with a straw in it that led all the way to the backpack with the gallon in it. And what he did is is he got a soda and he went up and got Mountain Dew Baja Blast at Taco Bell and he filled up his backpack with it. That's Operation Soda Steal. Yeah. Well, a lot of vegetables don't really have a taste, but yeah, we all gotta eat more healthy. I want to eat. I think like the best way to eat healthy though, I think, is to just learn how to cook healthy. So that's what I want to do. So by the way, um, would you guys be interested in playing some games on here in a little bit? Uh, I recently have figured out how to do emulate. I recently have figured out emulators, and I was thinking we could play some old Nintendo 64 and GameCube games on here. You know what game I got? Kraken, Callie, you know what game I got? I've got the original. I've got Superman 64, considered one of the worst games ever. I've got a ROM of that. We could play. I could play on here. Instead of downloading all the provably good games that existed, I've downloaded all the famous flops and some other ones that I want to play. I also have the Steam edition of Daikatana. Do you know what Daikatana is? Am I talking old stuff to people that don't know this? So Superman 64 is a real famously like unplayable, nearly unplayable game. I've played it a little. I played it a little bit, and it is very difficult to get through. Even the first level, it's nearly impossible. But Daikatana a was a game made by John Romero, who is the co-creator of Doom. No, not John Romero. Yeah, no, it was John Romero because with Carmack, Carmack was the other one. Yeah, and it has. Have you guys ever heard of this game? Oh yeah, okay. You've never heard of Doom? Well, Doom is a pretty big deal, no, but Daikatana was very. It has maybe one of the single worst ads ever. Let me find it. Let me find it. I will show it to you guys, and you'll be shocked how bad of an ad this really is. John Romero, Daikatana. get like a 1 second. 1 second. I'm just trying to find a higher quality version of it than exists. Apparently, they want to show. Google image search has become so bad. By the way, I hate it. I don't know why I use it. It's just out of instinct, I guess. But this was. This was the ad. It is John Romero is about to make you his female dog, and I don't know if you can see it, and it says, "Suck it down." That's the ad for a video game. Don't you want to play that video game now? Kraken, aren't you curious in playing that game now? That makes you want to buy it, right? Because, guys, John Romero was practically... I shouldn't do that. He hates that ad. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ad that they tried to sell. Now, one of the worst ads. Okay, yeah. Why would you know who that is? Well, John Romero is a very important person in the history of video games. He and John Carmack, two guys over at id, created Doom. Created the video game Doom and Wolfencastle. No, that's a real ad. Nope, that's the real ad. That's the real ad. So he and John Carmack created Doom and Wolfenstein, two of the biggest, which pretty much invented first-person shooting. And after a while, Romero decided to go on his own and create a video game Daikatana, his own studio where he would create a video game called Daikatana. Now, Daikatana is a famous disaster of a game. He essentially started behaving like a rock star, started doing a lot of drugs, spent a lot of money on stupid things he shouldn't have, and it was a huge flop. But that ad came out saying, John Romero is about to make you his bitch. Suck it down. Disaster. Anyways, I have it. It was one of the hugest financial flops in video game history. Well, at the time. But Romero he was considered kind of a golden boy for a long time, because of his early success at id. But, yeah. That was the 90s. So, you know what? I'll let it out on a vote because I have a few games that I've got that we could play that might be fun. After this, I'm gonna let people vote on YouTube what to play. Because I'm very excited because I learned how to do emulators. I've got working emulator. I learned how to do working emulators now, so So the past few days I've been playing like old Nintendo 64 games and stuff, which has been very fun. Although the Daikatana thing I got is a legal thing from the Steam port. Video games ads in the 90s were stupid. But to be fair, they're still really stupid. There's been some real... Remember, to promote God of War, remember to promote God of War, who puts out God of War? Oh, right, it was Sony. Yeah, Sony. To promote God of War, Sony sacrificed a goat at a party. Like, that was a thing they did, and then they fed the goat to people. Or there was this whole thing with Acclaim. Do you guys know Acclaim games? Have you ever heard of the Acclaim games stuff that they did? What are you talking about? That was a huge success. That was a huge success that everybody loved. That was a huge success that was a huge success everybody loved and was good. It's so good that the developers decided to remove it after a few days because they didn't want because they knew it was distracting people from their lives, and all of society ground to a halt to play Concord. What a fun... I was watching Yahtzee talk about it, and he said something really good. Is that they all looked like parents who, like, when they were he said something really good, and it was like, it clicked to me what looked weird about them. They all look okay. Here's the idea: they all look like parents who, as young people, were really into cosplay, but they've gotten older now and they've had kids and they haven't really had a chance to go cosplay in a long time. And finally, like, they get a weekend off, and they've all brought out their old, like, costumes that they used to do it in, and they're gonna go cosplay. And I'm like, and it's like, yes, that's what it is. That's what it is. They look like a bunch of older. They look like a bunch of older people trying to cosplay again after years of not being able to. That's what they all look like to me. Yeah. But here's the thing. Not the kind of... I didn't like some... The criticism of Concord annoyed me a tiny bit, because it's like, what should be a joyous celebration of another of another bullshit life service game being killed was marred, being killed on such an epic occasion, and getting to laugh at a billion-dollar corporation's face for doing something stupid was marred by stupid culture war bullshit. But yeah, it's Warner Brothers. See, the thing with this, I don't like these like live service games, and I kind of hope they die. I kind of hope they get killed. They get killed and they die, and they stop putting them out every time. Because remember a few years ago, because this is really just like an evolution of, like, when they tried to make everything an MMO, and that all flopped. Like, the thing, like, okay, here's the thing though with, like, Super Smash Bros. It's like, you can still play the old Super Smash Bros. Games. Like, nobody's stopping you from playing the old Super Smash Bros. Games, but, like, with Multiverse, like, there's nothing left. You can't play that game anymore. They got rid of it. And the thing, like, with Warner Brothers is, like, with Warner Brothers, like, what bothers me with game companies is they don't appreciate nowadays, like, that the first entry is often not as huge a hit. You have to release a few things before it becomes a big hit. Like, not everything is going to be instantaneously successful. Anyways, that's me complaining about the video game industry. Somebody who's been playing the past few days has been playing, like, 20-year-old games from his youth, and who has recently bought a controller, an N64 controller that will work on PCs, so it can be more accurate. Anyways, yeah, not just Cartoon Network characters, Kraken. It was Warner Brothers characters. They had Ariana from Game of Thrones was in it. They had LeBron James, everybody's favorite Cartoon Network character. They had the Wicked Witch of the West, I believe. Hey, hey, listen. I read the Multiverses comic that they did to promote the game. Like I've read that, so I know the Wicked Witch of the West is in that. I also I got the original Spider-Man movie game from the GameCube. As a kid, that was my favorite game. I loved that game so much. I played it obsessively because you just got to swing around and beat people up. It was very fun. And Shaggy. The thing is, Warner Brothers is a stupid company that does bad things. But Kraken, you know what I'm disappointed on? We didn't get to see the crossover with Discovery happen. Where are the Where are all the hit Discovery characters in Multiverses? Huh? Huh? Where are the Ice Road Truckers, Kraken? I never played Wizard 101. I played City of Heroes, Kraken. That was the multiplayer game. That was the MMO I liked. My character was called Gravity, but I had misspelled Gravity, and I didn't realize that till years later. Years later. He wore a black trench coat like Neo from the Matrix. Had no consistency whatever with his character design. They have the Ice Road Truckers. They have the Mythbusters. They have um, yeah. Uh, they have Searching for Gold in various locations. They have a wide cornucopia, Kraken. A wide cornucopia. They have the Unabomber. They have the Unabomber. They did a TV show about the Unabomber. Where is the Unabomber, Kraken, in Multiverses, huh? That would be awesome. Somebody should do that. What is it? Mugen, right? You can make. Somebody should do a versus like a fighting game with all reality show, all like Discovery Channel, Pawn Stars, Storage Wars. I'd buy that for $1. Should see Kraken, you and me. Okay, Callie. Kraken, you and me. That's a great shirt as well. That's a great shirt as well. That's another great shirt. You and me, we're coming up with really good shirts. Yeah, exactly. I want this game to exist now. It would be the worst game ever, but I would love for it to exist. I don't watch enough bad reality shows to know the Whale Wars guys that South Park made fun of. I don't watch enough of these shows to really. To know. Let's see. Which Gordon Ramsay? Gordon Ramsay could be a character. I don't know. There is a distinct genre, like Discovery. Discovery shows are very different from, say, like other reality shows. Because yes, I love Gordon Ramsay. Callie, what is your unpopular opinion about video games? Like Discovery shows are very different from, say, like reality shows about cooking. Yes. How dare you, Callie? How dare you? Yeah. We have like, yes. I mean, here's the thing, though. I think those people, when you play into the fact that people hate influence, like those influencers play into that fact. Because I know there was a pitch out. Because I'm aware that there was a pitch at one point. Because I have connections in the influencer industry. I say that like a big deal. I have a friend. Okay, this is a real story. I have a friend who was an assistant to a very big Twitch streamer, and he's now an assistant to a very big, a decently big pair of YouTubers. I think pair of YouTubers. So I have a connection. I do have a connection to the influencer industry in a way. Also, I am one, obviously. Like everybody loves me, but I know for a fact that there has been a pitch going around for a while in that industry with YouTube influencers, and the basic premise is the basic premise of this pitch is that I can say this. The basic premise of this pitch is this: it's a slasher movie that's going to star nothing but influencers, and the premise is you get to see them get killed. That's been the pitch as of late. But the problem is a lot of them are such bad actors that they can't really get it going. Yeah, you don't think I know Bar Rescue? I didn't know who John Taffer was. I have heard of Bar Rescue. Thank you for that clarification. Yes, I am. Take that, Bernie Sanders! Who's also inexplicably on Twitch. And who I've made my mod, yet he has never shown up to do his mod duties. It's like he thinks he has more important things to do. And Callie, what do you do instead of video games? Talk to people? Ugh. Talking to people is so overrated. We got rid of people. We replaced them with video games. Don't worry. Ah. But yeah, so that's been I know for a fact that that's been a pitch going around for a while, is that they, with influencers, is they want to do a slasher movie starring them. And the whole premise is to watch the influencers get killed by a slasher. But so what I'm saying is influencers play into that a lot. Yeah. I think there's a few of them. I remember I know I remember the thing you're talking about. I know which one. I think I know which one you're talking. I also remember seeing ads for that a while back. Oh, Kraken, do me a favor. Check to see if that link there is working. You know, just check to see if that link there is working. Actually, I'm actually gonna have to start putting stuff on there at some point. I mean, technically, it's my old website that's been redesigned. So if you want to like peruse my old stuff, it's all there. It's all archived there. But it is surprising. You know, it's funny when you really think about it. Like how like how has there not been an influencer yet who's really crossed over as a mainstream star? Like to me, like okay, who's like the biggest? Like surely one of them like could have like started an acting, could have like segued into like an acting, like a real acting career or something, right? Like because I was thinking about this, it's like the ones that have been more minor guys that that started on YouTube. Well, it's old stupid articles I wrote. So for back when I thought during college when I was trying to make my own version of the Onion. So you'll see if you want to look through that, it's all archived there. Some old stories. Also, back when I wasn't editing as rigorously as I should have been. So, gonna be honest, some of them are kind of incomprehensible, but. And oh shit! Right, I did put the first chapter of Jack, an early chapter of Jack and Alex on there. Ah, that it does not even look like that anymore. Anyways, I'm still, by the way, deciding. No, so this is terrible that I know this. You're actually kind of combining two of the Paul brothers. Uh, it's not Logan Paul that was the star in Disney and then became a wannabe boxer. It's his brother Jake, who's the wannabe boxer. Logan is the guy. Logan is the guy is the older brother who is who did the, Japan, who had the infamous incident in Japan, and then sold a bunch of crypto scams and is now suing CoffeeZilla for exposing said crypto scams. Yeah, yeah. There's two of them. There's Jake and Logan. I hate that I know this. Allegedly, alleged scams. Since we know he's litigious. By the way, that's not even. Uh, it gets even more complicated. I did some looking into it, and it's not even that. The reason he's so mad is not even of the whole CryptoZoo thing, apparently, because there's an even bigger scam going on, alleged scam going on that he's involved in Canada that could theoretically get him in like federal trouble. But yeah, the Jake Paul thing is so frustrating because because it's like the thing with Jake Paul is like, oh yeah, how did Jake Paul manage to beat a 6 year manage to beat a near 60-year-old man who has to walk with a cane? Oh, I wonder how Jake Paul did that. It's so amazing that he won that fight. Um, Super Eye Patch Wolf has a really good video on what Paul kind of the bullshit Paul has been pulling. If you want to watch, but basically, so okay, so what? So do you follow boxing at all, Kraken? I say like I'm an expert on it, but I know enough to get by, but I know enough that I know exactly what Paul is the trick Paul is pulling off. Because Paul has a near undefeated. Yeah, but he's still a 6-year-old guy. He's still a six. Yeah, he's still a 6-year-old guy, Kraken. It's fighting. Combat sports are combat. This stuff is a young man's sport. Unfortunately, by the time you're like seriously, like by the time you're entering your 40s, is when most fighters retire, and even that can be generous. Like it's very rare. It's very rare for a guy to last that long in combat sports. Like 30s is when they start. Like by the time you hit your 30s is when they start talking about what your retirement would be like. Like you can start hearing people talk about retirement. It's the young eat the old in combat sports, unfortunately. And the fact that Tyson was that old, he had been out of practice for that long. Okay, so it's not even that. It's not even that, Kraken. It's not even that. It's a little bit more complicated. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's not even that because he doesn't even have to do that. It's not so much he's rigging; it's that he's stacking the deck. No, it's not even that. Okay, I'll explain. I'll explain what he's doing. I'll explain what he's doing. Okay, so what he Paul has won a bunch of numerous boxing matches against UFC guys, against mixed martial arts guys, which champion mixed martial arts guys, which sounds impressive, but you'll notice there's a few caveats to that. He's won against mixed martial arts guys and MMA guys in boxing. In boxing, now here's the thing about that. The guys the first few fights he's won against are guys who are all noted as being very good wrestlers, not strikers, which is a thing you need. But wrestling doesn't really help you in boxing. Boxing is all about strikers. So he does that. Two, he fights against people who are very good in combat sports, but not the combat sport they're doing. Two, he fights often older guys. The next people he picks are often older guys that don't have actually as impressive of a record as it seems they do. Like one of the biggest ones he won against is a guy who's a champion bare knuckle boxer. But the thing is, like, that sounds impressive, but bare knuckle boxing really is, one, relatively new, and two, significantly more dangerous than like normal boxing. So not a lot of high quality boxers will actually participate. And three, he'll participate in older matches against older champions. See, there's this term in boxing called tomato cans, and basically what he's doing is he's fighting tomato cans, which is like he's fighting guys who are way below what his skill level should be, and winning. The only time Paul has ever fought a guy his age and his age, and who is an active boxer who has been participating in boxing, is when he took on Tyson Fury's younger brother. Now, you don't know who Tyson Fury is, the current world heavyweight champ. And what Paul will say is, well, at the end he tripped, but if you actually look at the fight, fucking Tyson Fury, I think it's Nick Fury, is fucking dominating Paul throughout the entire fight. It's ridiculous how easily this guy like weaves through Paul's bullshit. So what Paul's team is doing is they're just finding guys that Paul can beat easily. Like it's not, it could theoretically be rigged, but it's not even rigged. He doesn't need to rig it. He's just finding guys he knows he can beat that look theoretically good, but Paul who knows, who theoretically is, yeah, exactly. And he's not doing that. He's not fighting his age, his weight, his division. He's not doing it. He never does that. He always stacks the deck in some way that favors him. He's not fighting at actual competition boxers. Because if he was, if they gave him, if he fought boxers that he's not fighting as an actual boxer. Yeah, so that's what he's doing. So he's stacking the deck so heavily against it for himself, which is actually kind of a problem with modern boxing. Apparently, is that a lot of boxers are doing this, but Paul is just so blatant about it. Yeah, it's no surprise Paul is winning boxing matches against wrestlers. It's ridiculous. That's Paul's whole strategy. And then, like, he beats Mike Tyson, which would be a big deal, but Mike Tyson is quite elderly. He's an elderly man. He walks with a cane. He just doesn't have he just doesn't have it anymore, unfortunately. I would have loved for Tyson to kick Paul's ass. That would have been an awesome day, but no. It's like fighting. You have to remember, Muhammad Ali, by the time like he was Tyson's age, had severe Parkinson's. It's like it's winning that. It's beating against a guy like that. The thing is, he's done that once, Kraken. He's done that once against a guy that in a real wrestling federation, that would, not wrestling, I'm sorry, my mind's on wrestling. My mind is always never too far away from wrestling. In a real boxing match they'd put him against. And he got his ass kicked. So yeah, it's a vanity run. It's vanity. It's pure vanity what he's doing. It's pure vanity, and it's ridiculous. Because he doesn't even need, like, he could be fixing, like, there's a chance he's fixing. That's not out of the possibility that he's fixing, but he doesn't really even need to. You can engineer fights to go, like, it's very possible to engineer fights to go your way. Like, if Paul's so good, why not fight Tyson Fury? You know? Why not fight Tyson Fury? Huh? Paul? You know, why not fight, like, the actual guys? Huh? Like, why not fight guys in your weight class in your age? Yeah, why not fight? Anyways, so it's ridiculous. But it's just an example of, like, I don't know. And the problem is, like, Paul is coding himself a little bit in, like, a very good point about how, like, UFC fighters don't get paid right, which is frustrating. Because it's like he actually has a good point about UFC pay stuff, because very famously UFC fighters don't get paid a lot, don't get paid as much as they would, and that is frustrating to hear a guy make a good point, and I don't like that. But his stupid thing that he does, fuck you. Fight somebody real. Anyway. Okay, that's my complaint about the Paul brothers. That ends the group hate for the Paul brothers. That ends our evening's group hate for the Pauls. Also, the fact that there is some allegations out there about him. Yeah. It is BS, right? It's BS. That I don't know the full extent of, but I'm aware there are, and we'll leave it at that. You know, I have in here some good coffee I made today. And I've been a little lazy lately, and I've been using, just the, the Keurig machine. It's okay. I have reusable cup things. I'm not, doing that. But I've been a little lazy, and today I decided instead, you know what? I'm going to do it properly. So I got all my coffee making stuff to do it correctly. I freshly ground the beans. I simmered the roast. I used the appropriate filters. Oh, it's a little bit of a vanilla. It's just some good old-fashioned coffee beans cracking. And it tastes very good. It tastes very smooth today, which I'm very proud of myself for. Oh boy. How long have I been doing this? I didn't expect to go this long this early in the morning. I guess you guys really don't have it. I said something controversial on YouTube a few days ago in a video, I guess. And I got 2 comments of people who were really snippy. I got 2 comments from people who are really... probably not. Because there's work stuff I have to do today. But... probably not. There's stuff I have to do today, but I can go for a little bit. Yeah, someday I will. Here's the thought. I had an idea of doing a special 48-hour stream for when I hit 1,000 followers on Twitch. So, if you know anybody who wants to follow me on Twitch, be prepared for that. And with the rate I'm going of getting followers, that will happen in 5 years. Not today. If I were to do a marathon stream, it would be on Friday or Saturday. I would start it on Friday or Saturday. Not today. Today would not be a good day to do a marathon stream. because Sunday, it's a weekend, but I would want the possible maximum amount of people to be here during that whole thing. Okay. Ow, mother! It's plugging something in and it's refusing to plug in correctly. There we go. Yeah, I'm just. There we go. But we'll wait for that. Here's what I'll say. Who's still here? Oh. Yep. What are you doing? What are you doing? You've been banned twice. Have you ever clicked on one of the? We just got a. Zelila, good to see you. Good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful. How wonderful it is to see you on this fine and lovely day. I see that. Hope you're doing well. Just hanging out across the street, doing the same old things we did last week. Zelila, I was just saying hello to Zelila. You see them on the chat in the window here. They're over on the YouTube. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I said something a little controversial. Not controversial in the sense that it matters to the rest of the world, but I reviewed the first issue of the Marvel Rivals comic that Marvel put out, and I said it wasn't good. I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of bad, honestly. And one of the reasons why I didn't like it was because it was nonsense. It was basically nonsense. There was almost no characters, and they just rushed, and it's just. I assume it was like. Is that a thing in the game? Because that pops up. Anyway, so I was saying like, slow down, this is a comic, you can tell an actual story, slow this down, let's follow some characters, let's explain why we're doing things. And well, I said slow this shit down, and God, people, like, some fans got mad at me. It's like, what are you talking about, slow this down? It's in the game. And I was like, I'm reviewing a comic, not a game. If I was reviewing a game, I would review it on its own terms. It's like, you should have, like, explored the lore. And I was like, I did. You should have watched the video on the lore. And I told, like, in the video, I say, like, okay, like, I researched lore and I still don't really understand it. Anyways, I wasn't even that, like, critical. I said, yeah, it'd probably make more. I said in the video, this probably makes a lot more sense in the game than it does in the comic. I was reviewing it explicitly from the perspective of the comic. I wasn't playing the game. Anyways, so that irritated me. Kraken, but it's 8 issues long. It's 8 issues long. You can tell the story. Marvel makes. Yeah, I know it was going to be bad, but that's kind of. But I give everything a fair. I give everything a fair chance, and I come in hoping it's good. Listen, I'm going to throw this out there. This might get me shit. I'm going to throw this out there. I'll throw this out there. People might disagree with me on this. The Batman Fortnite crossover was good. I said it. The Batman Fortnite crossover was surprisingly a pretty decent comic. Uh, so it's very possible to make these things good. I may have lost people on that, but nope, it was a good. I'm going to throw this out there. It was a good comic. It paced itself well. It had a comprehensible character arc for Batman and Catwoman, and it explored a mystery. It explored the mystery interestingly. It did good. So it's very possible for these things to not do too bad. But you know what it did? It slowed down. It slowed down. It didn't immediately jump. It didn't immediately jump in trying to explain 1,000 things of canon and just told a comprehensible story about a single character. What these comics do is they try and tell the story of every character all the time and throw in a bunch of action scenes. It's not a particularly good comic. It's not a particularly good comic. I've read better promotional comics. The Fallout comic impressed me with that it took itself decently seriously enough. Yeah, of course it is. But what I was frustrated with the Marvel is like, just tell a story, just tell a story, just tell a story. But I gave it credit for not being. But I also said it's the first issue, and sometimes first issues are like this. So I read the second issue. The second issue was much worse. The second issue was much worse. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But I don't care about that because I don't play Fallout. I read comics. And what I found with the Fallout comic was a decently effective little story. They turned into an effective survival story, and surprisingly, a decent romance story that they pulled off pretty well. I was quite surprised that they actually put in a lot of DC weirdly put in a lot of effort for that crossover. That was quite surprising. And Marvel, who I generally consider to be better, usually has produced better stuff overall, did not put in for their own IP thing that they own, and that's a big deal. Because it's pretty bad. The comic is pretty bad. I hate to say it because the art is really good. Like, the art is amazing, and I'm quite impressed by the art, but the writing is bad, and it's bad in the way like bad comedy comics are bad. Like they'll just like they'll do things like randomly scream like, "Yo, this is awesome! This is epic!" And it's just bad. It's just bad. So yeah. And I said that, and people were like, "Well, you didn't play the game." And it's like, I don't care about the game. I care about the comics. But they have to compare themselves to the Fortnite comics. So, and the Fortnite comics are irritatingly much better than see Kraken. Here's the thing. I really wanted to hate the Fortnite comics. I thought it would be really funny to go in, read a shitty comic, and make fun of it online. That's why I went in. That's why I read them. And I was very irritated that it turns out it was decently competent. Because I hate Fortnite. It's a dumb game that should never have been as successful as it is. And it in many ways ruined video games. Yes, have you not been paying attention to me? There's Fortnite comics. There's a huge crossover that DC did with Fortnite. Yes, that's what I'm saying. They did this. They did a cross. There's a Batman Fortnite crossover comic that happened, and weirdly, it's actually kind of okay. They actually did an okay job with it. Yeah, weirdly, it's actually kind of okay. It's not like the best comic ever made, but it's a very competently told story. So that's what I compare the Marvel. I compare the Marvel Rivals comic to that. No, no, I'm talking. There's an actual, real deal Batman crossover with Fortnite. It involves Batman being sucked into the world of Fortnite, and his memory gets. It involves Batman and Catwoman being sucked into Fortnite, and their memories get wiped, and they get stuck in an infinite fight with each other. And it involves both Batman and Catwoman working to break the cycle. I mean, they're on the DC. They're on the DC Universe app. Let's see. I'm sure the Comic Scans websites have them. Batman versus Fortnite comic read online. Like I would say that they're not like the best comics in the world, but they're competent. They're competently told, and they oh it's a competently told story. Like they know they. Okay. Oh no, I'm not doing. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not disabling. I mean, just look up. Just look up Batman versus comic. Read online on Google. You'll find them. It's not hard to find. Okay, here we go. It's not hard to find scans of pretty much any comic. I didn't I never picked up on that. That is funny. Here, here. Don't click on that because that's piracy and you shouldn't do it. Even though Epic is co-owned by Tencent, one of the most evil corporations in video games. Don't click on it. I don't support piracy. I'm just posting it there so you can know not to click on it. I believe, but yeah, it ends. It ends kind of stupidly because it implies that it's the Batman who laughs who's involved in behind Fortnite. I don't know. I don't like the Batman who laughs. I don't like. I think the bat. I don't like the Batman who laughs. I think that's kind of an overrated villain. Yeah, yeah. That's their right. That's their right to destroy art. Listen, Kraken. What has big companies ever done bad? Huh? Ever. Big companies love you and do only good. So you should give them all of your personal information and work for them forever. And buy all their products and not expect them to give you any money in return, because that would be stealing. You give them all your money, they don't give you theirs, because that's their life essence. Kraken, did you not remember? Listen, Bobby Kotick is such a good executive, they give him a lot of money. He's so good, he gets a lot of money. How do you not understand this? People who have lots of money are inherently good people. Because God has chosen them. Because that's the way God works. That's what Donald Trump believes. That's why he and Elon get to be in charge of the country. Oh, I said I wasn't going to go political. Oops. My mom, fortunately, my mom saw right through this, but she thought it was really funny. She told me about this. She showed me this video. My aunt showed her this video, shared this video with her about. It was telling about this rancher in Montana who stood up to these Mexican cartels, who were trying to buy his land from him. And people pointed out that what this guy did is that's the plot of the last Rambo movie. Is that? Yeah, no. So this is the plot. The guy just stole the plot from the last Rambo movie and is claiming it's real. Jaden! Hey, Jaden, how's it going? Good to see you. You know, Kraken, if you didn't mention that you misspelled it, I wouldn't have picked up on that. You know I don't know how words work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Well, that's good to hear. Well, that's darn good to hear, Jaden. Darn good. We're just hanging out. Yeah, probably at some point get food for myself too. But hey, our old buddy Jaden is back. I want to catch up. Want to catch up with Jaden, see how he's doing. Head to Ohio. What? What? course, you're talking metaphorically about Ohio, right? And not saying the state you live in. Anyway. Um, so how goes the comic producing business, Jaden? Very nice, very nice. Tell me, what is it about? Is it about men with... Jaden, did you hear this wild rumor that's been going around lately? That, did you hear this wild rumor about Batman that's been going around lately? That Batman is actually Bruce Wayne? The millionaire playboy? I don't think so, right? Like, that sounds pretty suspect to me. Sure, let's look at some of your art. Hey, so Zalala, are you working on anything as of late, art-wise? Oh, very lovely, Jaden. Very lovely. Look at that. Look at that. Very nice, Jaden. Very nice. Yeah, it can't be true. Bruce Wayne is Batman? Nah. You know who I actually think is Batman? Clark Kent, that reporter from Metropolis. I'm pretty sure he's Batman. Or possibly Barry Allen. Because you never see Barry Allen and Bruce Wayne together in the same place. I mean, Batman. That's cool. I'm taking an art class right now. It's cool, but it's... I don't know. Part of me is like... Part of the problem is it's so far away and it's late at night, so it takes me... It's 3 hours long. It takes me an hour to get there, and then it's 3 hours long, and then it takes me an hour to get back, and I'm like, I don't know mentally if I can do that again. Mentally, if I can do this. I want to take it, but it's just so far. Everything is just so far away. It's pretty much half. It's it's like a quarter of my day, pretty much. Yeah. Makes sense. Military man. Also, I don't remember conclusively if Batman has a mustache, but it may be hidden under his cowl. Just drawing a girl. theoretically drawing anything, but drawing a girl. We're gonna play video games on here at some point. Maybe my next stream we'll do a video game stream because I've got some weird stuff. I've acquired some weird fun video games that I want to show you guys. But I don't feel like doing it today. I got. You might be interested in this, Jaden. I have. I got. So Superman. There's a Superman game for the Nintendo 64 that is popularly considered one of the worst games ever made. Yeah, I got a version of it working on my computer that we could play at some point. Yeah, Superman 3D. Yeah, Superman 64. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I've been playing it a little bit, trying to. Particularly Infamous is like the first level, and how little people can actually get past it. And I tried to get past it, and it is difficult. I've got some good games too. I've successfully been able to emulate get an emulated version of the original Spider-Man 2 game for movie game for the GameCube working on my computer, which I'm very excited about. Oh, it's trash. It's absolute trash. As somebody who was an active who was alive for that period in video gaming and had an N64, it's absolute trash. We can play it here on. I have it on my computer. We can play it on stream at some point. Not today. I'm yeah, it is absolute trash. It's not really. I watched a whole video about the history of it. It's actually not really it's not so much the developer's fault as Warner Brothers' fault in a lot of ways. A lot of the problems can be like put to Warner Brothers, like screwing with the times and things. It's a whole complicated story. I do have the Spider-Man 2 game for the GameCube, which on the other end is a very good game. I liked it a lot as a kid. That was kind of the game where they figured out what Spider-Man gameplay should be, which was free roaming around New York, web swinging. If you like the new Spider-Man games that exist now on the PlayStation, they're pretty much taking all their cues from that game. It is funny. I have to say, it is really funny replaying some of these games, because when I was a kid, I thought these graphics were like, oh wow, these graphics are amazing. And replaying them now, it's like, oh, nope, they have not aged as well as I thought they would. Yeah. Anyways. And then I've got a few other ones that I don't know if I have a few other ones that I downloaded because I just legitimately wanted to play them, and I won't stream them until after I finish playing them first time, because I'm having fun with them, and it's a really good class. It's just it's so late at night and it's so far away. I got exhausted doing it. So it's an hour to get there. It's 3 hours long, and then it's an hour to get back. So yeah. Oh no, are you stuck in a loop? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-oh. I've seen this before. Here's my bet. I bet Delilah entered this once, and there's a connection issue, and it keeps re-entering the same thing over and over again. I had a, yeah. It's a good class. I don't know. I want to do it, but I'm just tired. It's just the thought of doing it again is exhausting me. We'll see. We'll see. I should at least give it one more shot. I don't want to do the homework. I'm too old to do homework. I'm tired of homework. Yeah, we'll play that someday. How long have I been going on? I know it sounds like I'm being lazy, but I am. It's a good class. It's stuff I want to take. It's just, I don't know. I won't be lazy. I'll do it. Although if I could skip this week's homework, that would be really nice because I don't want to do this week's homework. I find with art classes, one of the things that I always get frustrated with art classes is suddenly I'm back in a situation where I'm desperately craving an authority figure's approval, which that's always like I always feel so insecure. Like I'm pretty secure in my life usually. Well, secure in a lot of things, but well, that's a lie. But I am pretty secure. Like I've gotten over that in a lot of ways. Okay, that's a good question. Who? Who's it? Can I use the big three? Um, hey, Fade! Oh my goodness, Fade! So good to see you. How are things going, Fade? I'm fading a little bit. No Chippy anymore. Just imagine. Okay. I don't know. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Okay. I don't know. You're just a band kid. Well, it's good to see a band kid. Oh my god, I'm getting so tired. I haven't eaten today. Oh, thank you. I hope it turns out okay. Yeah, it's turning out okay, honestly. Um, let's go. I don't know. Wally West. I mean, it feels like I'm inclined to think that fantastical. You always need a new potato. Everybody should get a new potato at any time. You have to replace it once every few weeks. Like I feel like knowing James Gunn, he'd probably be inclined to the Justice League International version. It is. It's a fantastical word. Fantastical is a fantastical word. That means that's fantastical in all ways and ways. Okay. What happened to Asteroid Destroyer 1? Darn it. Well, you know those potatoes. They like committing arson. That's just what they do. That's just what they do. They commit arson all the time. Oh my god. No! No! The Buff Hamster failed. And Wolverine, yeah. Of course they are. Most animals are plotting to take over the world in some way. But it's hamsters who have the will of the people to do it. I want. Oh, if we can use anybody from. Yes, we're spy pigeons of the grandest variety. Oh, man, I'm tired. Man, I'm tired. Oh boy, I want to keep talking. Oh shoot, that sucks. For real? Because tell me. Quick, Nessa, translate the entire to be or not to be monologue from Hamlet into Hamster Inn. That's frustrating. What? Jaden, unfortunately, that's a crime you just confessed to me. You liking pineapples is a crime. It's illegal to enjoy them. Tell me. Squeak! Squeak. Fade, my goodness! Oh! You meant squeak, squeak, squeak. Huh? Little known fact. See, it's very. Oh! Fade, my goodness. Very offensive. I didn't know you. Squeak, 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 squeaking. Fade. Be careful with that. Certain neighborhoods that will get a squirrel to bite your ass. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Oh my god, I'm so tired. In certain neighborhoods, that'll get a bunch of squirrels to be really mad. I got it. I got it, marching band kid. I got it. I knew what it was. Trust me, I have watched that movie inside and out several times. I've even seen the band making a documentary a few times. I was there, Fade, when that movie was released. Okay, Jane, I'm probably going to join you in a few minutes. I love Patrick Warburton so much. I'm old, Fade. I'm old. When was it released? Because I was a kid when it was released. I was very excited about that. I remember I had books and stuff. Emperor's New Groove. 2000. It was released in 2000. So that was 25 years ago. Oh my god, I'm old. No, I don't want to be this old. I still have the dreams of a younger man. That was 25 years ago. More than... I'm 32. Yeah, it was. You should know. You should know, Faye. You should know, Faye, that color wasn't actually invented until 1997. Back then, everything was in black and white. See, the cameras weren't. It's not that the cameras were in black and white; it was that the people were. I know I'm not that old. I still have time to be cool. So, reading anything, watching anything? How goes the life of band? Oh, how goes your music arranging career? Oh man. Yeah. makes sense. Yeah, because that's why Frankenstein is. That's why Frankenstein skin. That's why Frankenstein's skin was green in the black and white movies, is because it showed up better on camera. It's going awesome. Tell me about that. But I didn't know about the green lipstick. That is very cool. I will now repeat that fun fact to people for the rest of my life, Fade. Do you know that the accent they spoke in old time movies is fake too? They made it was an invented accent a guy made up and taught to rich kids. No, tell me about this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That old darling. Yeah. Yeah. It was supposed to be the perfect mix, like the North Atlantic accent. It's supposed to be the perfect mix of like the American and British accent. It's like, darling, yes. Like uh, what they did, yeah, it was just invented. Some guy just kind of came up with it as an idea and would teach rich people, kids, this because it was supposed to sound very classy. It doesn't exist in real. It never existed in real life. It was never. It was not a natural accident. Accent. Yeah. So like all those old movies you hear like with the Mid Atlantic accent, that's not like how they spoke. That was just a voice they would put on to sound. Yeah, he wanted to invent a rich people accent. That was the whole idea. That was the whole idea, was to invent a rich people accent. Oh, I've got my first crypto scammer in a comment. That's very fun. I'm going to show this briefly online because I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid, Erica. Erickson, Linda. Look at this. Look at this comment I've gotten on this video about Steven Seagal. Why would that matter? Huh? What the fuck are you talking about? A bit off topic. Oh, I know this trick. You are trying to figure out a way to scam me from a fictional crypto wallet I do not own. Report. Oh, wait, there's no for spam. Oh, YouTube. I don't want to report anyways. For misinformation. There we go. Yeah, I get some occasional crypto scams. I've been trying to fudge with them, just for the fun of it. One person tried to scam me, and I said, like, is it possible that I am currently serving prison right now? Is it possible? And they never responded to me, but I was going to be like, oh yeah, I'm in prison right now for, anyways. Yeah. It's awful. It's awful. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever composed by man or beast. Or it's just a hard song. That's so crazy. That should be a crime. It is a crime. Yeah, it comes in waves. I feel like a new scam will pop up and suddenly everybody will be doing it. Like I'm getting a lot of like texts now trying to like ask me if I want a job, and I'm like, oh, this is a scam. I know this is a scam. One of my favorite genres on YouTube is scam baiters, where it's people who like mess with scammers for the fun of it. Oh, how did he respond to that? That's so funny. That's such a good one. Did he respond to that? That's so funny. You told him you burnt the fourth down, right? You got a good sense of humor, Fade. You got a good sense of humor. Oh, God. Boy. Ugh. What time is it? I want to keep talking, but I just don't know if I have the energy to keep talking. Plus, I got a lot of stuff to do today. I went on much longer than I thought. Screw it. We'll go to 3 hours and then call it. Okay. We're at 2:44. We'll go. We'll hit 3 hours and call it. Okay. Let's do that. That's enough. That'll be a good time. See, it's good. It's good. The longer we stay here, the better it is because it's good for hours to be counted. And it's good to. You know what? I think that person experienced. Maybe they really thought about where they are in their lives. You know what? It's really. What did they say? Did they like say, "Well, how are you talking to me?" Did did they believe you? You make a pretty compelling argument that you don't have a phone. It's funny. That's really funny. That is funny. That is a fun bit. Okay. Oh, tell me your new favorite song. I want to hear your new favorite song. I have a new song I like quite a lot. I've been bopping to it all day for the past few days, but it's probably not one you'll have heard of, which is okay. Oh yeah, Creep. I'm happy that that's still a big thing. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. Have you listened to Radiohead before? It's a good. Yeah, it's a good. Did they do a band version of it? I am a weirdo. No. What am I doing here? I sing a really good version. Yeah, that's a good song. It's a classic. It's a classic. You've picked well. You've picked well, Fade. You've picked well. That song will serve you well as a song you as an enjoyable song. As a song to enjoy. It will serve you well in this stage of your life. Feel free. Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Okay. What are you doing for the 2025 season? Building launder. Who are you going to win against? I interpret everything as winning. Who are you trying to beat? How is this a competition? So what do you do? So tell me, what are you excited for with the 2025 season? I'm curious to hear what makes you excited. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm trying. I'm trying. Everything makes you so excited. That's good. Title and drill. Title and drill. Uh, oh. Fade, I'm so sorry. I just don't have it in me anymore. I just don't have it in me anymore to keep going. I'm so tired. I've totally extinguished all my ability to do stuff. I'm a freak. I'm a weird. Okay. I'm rating over on Twitch, and we'll call it here. Okay. Okay. See you guys later.